Administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
May I invite Honorable Nicholas Nzioka, leader of the majority party, to come forward and lay down a paper.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly today, Wednesday, 13th March 2024. 1. Waiver of interest and penalties on land rates, building approvals, and occupation certificates. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. That paper is committed to the Finance and Revenue Collection Committee. Thank you very much. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
May I invite Honorable Anastasia Mutevu, Special Elect, to come forward and give a notice of motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Anastasia Mutevu, Special Elect by the Wiper Democratic Movement. Honorable Speaker, that aware that Machakos County has a wealth of untapped sports talents amongst our youths, which when fully developed can be a source of income. Aware that Section 8 of the Machakos County Youth Empowerment Act 2022 provides that the government shall, in collaboration with the other stakeholders, promote talent development for the youth through rehabilitation of talent development infrastructure such as incubation centers. Further aware that the same act in Section 6 has provided that there be a youth development initiatives which the relevant department which shall ensure that the youth are equipped with the necessary knowledge, skills, value, and attitudes on socio-economic and political dynamics to enhance their capacity as youths to improve their living standards. Aware that many young people who could excel in sports have fallen victim in antisocial behavior like indulging in alcoholism, crime, drugs, and substance abuse. Honorable Speaker, acknowledging that the Kenya table tennis top-ranked player Brian Dunda Mtua owned his skills at Mwala Table Tennis Club and has continued to play in global tournaments as well as many talented athletics like Cosmas Nditi and Caleb Mwangangi, among others who have emerged, appreciating that the county government who has emerged from Machakos and scaled high heights internationally. Appreciating that the county government has vocational training institutions in all 8 sub-counties, and they can be used as sports centers for indoors, outdoor games to ensure talent of young people in all sports disciplines so that they can make a living from the sports. Honorable Speaker, I wish to give a notice of motion that this House discusses and approves the motion that the relevant departments of the county executive establishes sports incubation centers within vocational training institutions and implementations youth centers established under Section 9 of Machakos County Youth Empowerment Act 2022 to nurture sports in the county. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Clerk, do you have the next order?
Order number 7, statements.
May I invite Honorable Joshua Mwonga, Chairperson, Labor, Public Service and ICT Committee, to come forward and make that statement. Honorable Rosina, you are holding brief for Mheshimiwa Mwonga.
Yeah.
Proceed and give
Thank
the
you.
statement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Rosina Kanini, Special Elect Wiper Party, and I'm holding brief for the Chair, Labour and ICT Committee, Honorable Joshua Mwonga. Madam Speaker,
Before you proceed, Honorable Rosina, understand this statement had been requested by Honorable Maida and is not available. And I feel like it is not okay to proceed with the response in his absence. I think we can have it deferred.
we can defer to a later
Can
date.
have it deferred to a later date.
Yeah, Madam
Thank
Speaker.
you, Rosina, for
Thank you,
that.
Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Okay. All right, let's proceed to the next order. Next order.
Order number 8, motion, approval of report of Budget and Appropriations Committee on the County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2024.
May I invite Honorable Dominic Ndambuki, Chairperson, Budget and Appropriation Committee, to take us through that motion. Honorable Ndambuki. Honorable Kasanga, you are holding brief? Yeah. Sorry, just as I'm sorry.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am Justice Mulo Mutuku, Member of County Assembly, Munyu Ward. I'm holding brief to my chair, Budget, Mheshimiwa Dominic. Honorable Speaker, the County Fiscal Strategy Paper is a policy document that outlines the county government's fiscal strategy and prioritizes for a given financial year, and serves as a guide for the county government budget. The fiscal strategy paper is an important document as it sets the overall policy framework for resource allocation and informs budgetary allocation. The fiscal strategy paper contains elements such as economic analysis, revenue projections, expenditure priorities and ceilings, fiscal risks and constraints, performance targets, alignment with other policy documents, and how the county plans to manage its spending bills over the medium term. It also documents and considers the input of different stakeholders.
Excuse me? Where are we? You start with prosecuting the motion. That is the report, isn't it? Let's start with prosecuting the motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for your guidance. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that this House adopts the report of the Budget and Appropriation Committee on the County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2024 for the fiscal year 2024-2025, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 12th March 2024, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 117 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and the Machakos County Assembly Standing Order 205.
You may call a seconder to second your motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wish to call the majority leader to second this motion.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Thank you, Majority Leader, for seconding. I now propose the question that this House adopts the report of the Budget and Appropriation Committee on the County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2024 for the financial year 2024-2025, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 12th March 2024, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 117 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and Machakos County Assembly Standing Order 205. Before I invite members to debate this motion, I would request the mover to come forward and highlight on the report. Honorable Justice Otuko.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm standing to highlight this document. Honorable Speaker, the County Fiscal Strategy paper is a policy document that outlines the county government's fiscal strategy and prioritizes for a given financial year, and it serves as a guide for the county government budget. The fiscal strategy paper is an important document as it sets the overall policy framework for resource allocation and informs budgetary allocation. The fiscal strategy paper contains elements such as economic analysis, revenue projections, expenditure priorities and ceilings, fiscal risk and constraints, performance targets, alignment with other policy documents, and how the county plans to manage its spending bills over the medium term. It also documents and considers the input of different stakeholders and the public at large is submitted during public participation fora. The fiscal strategy paper, therefore, provides a strategic framework for the county government budgets and will guide in decision-making around resource allocation and spending priorities for the year, for the financial year 2024, 2025, and in the midterm term. The Machakos CFSP 2024 is the second in the county's plan period 2023-2027 and was submitted to the County Assembly on 28 February 2024 as required by the law. Standing Order 205 Article 3 states that upon being laid before the Assembly, the CFSP shall be deemed to have been committed to each second sectoral committee without question put. For each such committee to deliberate upon according to their respective mandate and make recommendations to the Budget and Appropriation Committee. Legal basis for preparations for the CFSP. Honorable Speaker, the County Treasury, pursuant to Section 171 of the Public Finance Management PFM Act 2012, is mandated to prepare and forward the fiscal strategy paper to the County Executive Committee for approval and subsequently submit the approved CFSP to County Assembly by 28 February of each year. Further, Section 117, Sabbatical 6 of the PFM Act 2012, as read with Standing Order 205 7 of Machakos County Assembly Standing Order, stipulates that the Assembly shall consider and may adopt the CFSP with or without amendments not later than 14 days after its submission. Section 117, Sabbatical 2 of PFM Act requires the County Treasury to align the proposed revenue and expenditure plan to the national financial objectives in the budget policy statement, BPS, in line with PFM Act 2012, Section 117, Article 5. The County Treasury carried out public participation both at village and sub-county level from 19th to 24th February 2024. The County Assembly conducted sectoral committees interrogations on 5th and 6th March 2024 and held public participations fora on 7th March 2024. In all the 9 sub-counties, Annex 1 public participation undeveloped, the public was also invited to submit written memoranda on or before Friday 8th March 2024 by 5 p.m. The submissions and the priorities from these fora have been considered in the preparations of this report and the recommended budget ceilings. Rationale for fiscal strategy paper. Honorable Speaker, the strategy paper articulates priorities, socio-economic policies and structural reforms, as well as sectoral expenditure programs to be implemented in the fiscal year 2024-2025 and in the medium term. The CFSP especially aims, 1, specify the broad strategic priorities and the policy goals that will guide the county government in preparing budget for the coming financial year and over the medium term. 2, provide linkage with the national objectives in the BPS. 3, provide the financial outlook with respect to county government revenues, expenditures, and borrowing over the medium term. And 4, provide a basis for stakeholders' engagement in the formulation and the implementation of county priorities and budgeting. Performance review. Honorable Speaker, the county's approval budget for financial year 2023-2024 was Kenya shillings 14.75 billion, which was received to Kenya shillings 16.58 billion during the reporting period. This was made up of Kenya shillings 11 billion, Kenya shillings 12.9 million, Kenya shillings 1.45 billion, Kenya shillings 4 billion, and the Kenya shillings 100 million as equitable share. Equalization fund, conditional grants, own source revenue, and asset disposal, respectively. As at 31st December 2023, or at the end of the first half, the county received Kenya shillings 5.19 billion in the compared to Kenya shillings 3.86 billion during the same period in financial year 2022-2023. This comprised of Kenya shillings 4.86 billion and Kenya shillings 295 million from equitable share and on source collections, respectively. The total expenditure as at 31st December 2023 was Kenya shillings 4.03 billion, consisting of Kenya shillings 3.68 billion and Kenya shillings 0.35 billion of recurrent and development expenditures, respectively. The overall budget execution declined to 24% in the reporting period compared to 28% over the same period in financial year 2022-2023, with the Department of Health recording the highest absorption at 37%. This was attributed to delayed disbursement from exchequer and low collection due to low economic activities in the county. Despite this decline, development expenditure increased from 4% last financial year to 6% in financial year 2023-2024. The recurrent expenditure constituted to compensation of employees of Kenya shillings 2.54 billion and the use of goods at Kenya shillings 1.14 billion, representing 15.3% and 6.9% of budget execution, respectively. The proposed count resources envelope for year 2024-2025 over the medium term. Honorable Speaker, the county has not been able to achieve its targets on OCR of the years. There is need for the county to look beyond the regular revenue sources as equitable share, and this includes options for the supplementing its budget like grants, donations, loans, public private partnerships, bonds, joint ventures, among others. The table below presents the revenues expected to finance the county budget in the financial year 2024-2025 and over the medium term. Madam Speaker, if you allow me, this table is in the Ganges of the honorable members. And if you allow me, Madam Speaker, I'll go to the next page, 4.0, sectoral interrogations and the public participation submission.
That is in order. You can just, the table is self-explanatory. Proceed to the next.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the County Assembly interrogated the chief officers from all county sectors on the 5th and the 6th March 2024 and conducted public participation in 9 sub-counties on 7th March 2023. Submissions from the CECM Finance. Honorable Speaker, the committee was concerned on the low absorption rate on development budget where most of the projects were at procurement stage. Also during sectoral interrogations, committees were informed that the department's requisitions were at the Department of Finance since procurement officers in the respective departments have no procuring rights. The CECM Finance submitted that the procurement process is decentralized and all procurement officers have rights to facilitate procurement process for the respective departments. Further, the committee was informed that the under-absorption of funds was also caused by delayed exchequer releases. On pending bills cutting across all departments, the CECM Finance informed the committee that, 1, the pending bills as at 30th June 2023 was 3.1 billion. Amount 2, amount paid to date, 76,155,751. 3, current pending bills balance is Kenya shillings 3.087 billion. 4, current funds requisitioned for pending bills amounts to 109,009,841. Number 5, further bills being processed for payment is Kenya shillings 341,741,616. 5, sorry, Madam Speaker. 6, this will leave a pending bills balance of Kenya shillings 2,636,387,388. The CECM Finance informed the committee that on-source revenue estimates was based on some of the key revenue streams, such as rates, building plans, approvals, and single business permits on anticipation that the new valuation role will be in use in the current financial year. However, due to involvement of the national government on the same, it has taken a longer time, but it will be finalized by end of May to take effect the next financial year. Revenue collection will improve due to enforcement and individual departments being revenue collection targets that fall within their jurisdictions. The committee was concerned that the proposed compensation to employees is 47%. The CECM Finance informed the committee that the high wage bill is occasioned by crucial sectors such as health sector, which accounts for 54% of the proposed budget on compensation to employees, for financial year 2024-2025. Proposed ceilings for compensations of employees amounts to Kenya shilling 6.5 billion for financial year 2024-2025, which includes Kenya shillings 3.5 billion for the Department of Health. On the major deviations from the CBROP primary ceilings, the committee was informed that outer years in CBROP were based on estimation which are normally confirmed in the subsequent budget policy statement. On non-receipt of any conditional grant during the first half of the year, the committee was informed that this was due to the absence of County Additional Allocations Act to facilitate the release of funds, which was approved by the National Assembly Senate on the 21st and the 22nd February 2024, respectively. Submission of written memorandum. Honorable Speaker, the Assembly received a written memorandum on 7th March 2024 from Wavumilivu Self-Help Group in Machakos Sub-County requesting for enhancement of the budget ceilings for the Departments of Health, Youth and Education to cater for HIV/AIDS, prevention and sensitization of the youth, and the alcohol, drugs, and substance abuse. The committee deliberated on the submission and incorporated the concerns in the setting of the ceiling. Madam Speaker, if you allow me to take a bottle of water.
You can sip.
Point of order.
The glass is not here.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I stand under standing order number 27 to request extension of time.
Proceed.
May I proceed?
Yes.
Honorable Speaker, that aware that standing order number 27, suborder 2, provides that the Speaker shall interrupt business at 12:30 p.m. for the morning sitting. Aware that standing order number 27, suborder 3, provides that the House may resolve to extend its sitting time. Aware that standing order number 27, suborder 4, requires motion to extend sitting time to be moved at least 30 minutes before the time appointed of adjournment. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the motion that the House resolve to extend its sitting time until the business of the morning session is over. I call upon Mheshimiwa Justice Kituku to second.
Thank you very much. I now propose the question that this House resolves to extend its sitting time until the business of the day is concluded. I now put the question that this House resolves to extend its time until the business of the day is concluded. As many of the opinions say ayes, as many of the contrary opinions say nay, the ayes have it. Honorable Justice, proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Proposed and recommended departmental ceilings. Honorable Speaker, the County Treasury has proposed the following departmental ceilings for financial year 2024-2025. Madam Speaker, again, the table is...
That one you have to go through it. It's very important.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'll go through it.
Yes.
We have the column of department, recurrent, development, and totals. Office of the Governor, 580,874,154. I repeat, Madam Speaker, 580,874,154. The development is 59,830,059. Total 640,704,213. Trade, industry, tourism, and innovation. Recurrent 174,925,282. Development 184,145,112 shillings. A total of 359,072,404 Kenya shillings. Finance, economic planning, and revenue management. Recurrent 969,712,272 shillings. Development 410,636,670 shillings. Total of 1,380,380,000 348,942 shillings. Devolution. Recurrent 998,776,935,000. Development 154,910,474. Total of 1.1 billion. Agriculture, food, security, and cooperative department development. 285,086,746 as recurrent. Development 518,785,949 Kenya shillings. A total of 803,876,695. Health 4.1 billion as recurrent. Development is 495,335,643. A total of 4.6 billion Kenya shillings. Roads, transport, and public works. Recurrent 244,405,006 shillings. Development 869,916,379. A total of 1.1 billion. Education 571,903,754 Kenya shillings. Development of Kenya shillings 143,410,378 shillings. Total of 715,314,132 shillings. Lands, urban development, housing, and energy. Recurrent 199,613,016 shillings. Development 272,741,084 shillings. A total of 472,354,100 shillings. Gender, youth, sports, and social welfare. Recurrent 138,671,815 shillings. Development of 296,358,502 Kenya shillings. Total of 435,030,317 Kenya shillings. Water, irrigation, environment, and climate change. Recurrent 169,100,000 150,496 shillings. Development 546,350,000. Total of 715,500,496. County public. Recurrent of 38,013,709 shillings. Development of 21,796,951. Total of 59,810,610 Kenya shillings. Service board, no allocation. County assembly, 1.1 million, 1,008,905,082. 826 Kenya shillings. That is recurrent. And the development, 174,400,000 Kenyan shillings. A total of 1.1 billion. Count attorney. Recurrent of 86,851,773 Kenya shillings. A development of 6,510,000 Kenya shillings. A total of 93,361,773 Kenyan shillings. A totals of recurrent 9,639,472,804 Kenya shillings. Development of 4,155,131,201 Kenya shillings. Total of 13,794,604,005 shillings only. The committee recommends the following departmental ceilings in the financial year 2024-2025. Department recurrent development and totals.
Is
Office.
a departure of the proposed to the recommendations? Is there a
Yes.
departure?
Yes.
There is.
Yes.
Okay. Proceed.
Office of the Governor, a recurrent 508,874,154. Development 59,830,059. Total of 604,704,213. Trade, industry, tourism, and innovation. Recurrent is 174,927,292. Development of 184,145,112 Kenya shillings. Total of 359,072,404 Kenya shillings. Finance, economic planning, and revenue management. Recurrent of 969,712,272. Development of 410,636,607 Kenya shillings. Total of 1,308,348,942 Kenya shillings. Devolution. Recurrent of 998,776,935 shillings. Development of 154,910,474. A total of 1,153,687,409 Kenya shillings. Agriculture, food security, and cooperative. Recurrent is 285,086,746 shillings. Development 518,789,949. A total of 803,876,695. Health. Recurrent of 4,174,409,010 shillings. Development of 495,335,643 Kenya shillings. A total of 4,667,825,653 Kenya shillings. Roads, transport, and public works. Recurrent 244,405,600 Kenya shillings. Development of 869,916,379. A total of 1.1 billion. Education 500, that is recurrent, 571,903,754 Kenya shillings. A development of 143,410,378. Total of 715,314,132 Kenya shillings. Lands, urban development, housing, and energy. Recurrent of 199,613,016 shillings. Development Kenya shillings 272,741,084 Kenya shillings. A total of 472,354,100 shillings. Gender, youth, sports, and social welfare. Recurrent 138,671,815. Development 296,358,502. Total 435,030,317 Kenya shillings. Water, irrigation, environment, and climate change. Recurrent 169,150,496. Development of 546,350,000 Kenya shillings. A total of 715,500,496. Count Public Service Board. Recurrent 38,013,709. Development of 21,786,000. I repeat, Madam Speaker, development on County Public Service Board is 21,796,951. A total of 59,810,660. County Assembly. Recurrent 1,008,995,826 Kenyan shillings. A development of 174,400,000 Kenyan shillings. Total of 1,183,395,826 Kenyan shillings. Count Attorney. Recurrent 86,851,773. Development of 6,510,000 Kenya shillings. Total of 93,361,773 Kenya shillings. Totals for recurrent 9,639,472,804 Kenya shillings. And development 4,155,131,201 Kenya shillings, make a total of 13,794,604,005. I repeat totals, 13,794,604,005 Kenyan shillings. General Committee observation. The Budget and Appropriations Committee made the following observation. 1, that the personnel emoluments is at 47% of the total revenue against a set limit of 35%. 2, during sectoral interrogations, all departments presented a list of pending bills to be considered for budgetary allocation, and that all the bills are domiciled at the Department of Finance, as they have no control over them. 3, that the 2023-2024 half-year absorption rates are too low, especially under the development vote. 4, that the own source revenue target for the year, for the next financial year 2024-2025 is Kenya shillings 3.19 billion. 5, that there were major deviations from the CBROP primary ceilings and the CFSP ceilings. 6, that there was no receipt of any conditional grant during the first half of the current financial year. 7, that there were additional projects which were attached in the CFSP document not captured in the annual development plan financial year 2024-2025. General recommendations. Honorable Speaker, the 2024 CFSP provides an all-inclusive state of the county, enabling the Budget and Appropriation Committee to properly scrutinize the proposed ceilings and draw proper recommendations. Some of the guiding areas include the criteria for the resource sharing, half-year departmental expenditures absorption rates, trends, views of the CECM finance, current financial year CRA recommendations on ceilings, submissions from sectoral committees, and public participation, pending bills, and county on source revenues. The committee recommends as follows. 1, the county treasury should come up with mitigation measures to control the wage bill, which now stands at 47% against a set limit of 35% of the total revenue as per section 107 of the PFM Act 2012, read together with the regulation 25 sabbatical 1B of the PFM regulations 2015. 2, that the pending bills task force finalize its report to enable the county clear the eligible pending bills, because some bills may lead to accumulation of penalties on the amounts due, causing strain on the budget. 3, that the procurement process under the development budget should be initiated in good time to facilitate timely completion and payment of projects. This will also aid in addressing the issue of pending bills, as projects will be executed and paid for in the financial year in which they were initially budgeted for. 4, that strategies be put in place to realize the whole source revenue target, as it has been on a declining trend over the previous years. 5, that the county treasury should consider policy documents such as CBROP while preparing the CFSP ceiling. 6, the county should meet the conditions set for donors in order to be able to access conditional grants. 7, the county treasury should ensure that all the projects in the CFSP are as captured in the ADP. 8, regulations that 7.1 of the PFM regulation 2015 stipulates that where a county assembly approves any changes in the annual estimates of the budget under section 131 of the PFM Act 2012, any increase or reduction in expenditure of a vote shall not exceed 1% of the vote ceilings. Pursuant to this provision, any changes in the forthcoming budget estimates should adhere to this provision. 9, the committee recommends prioritization of the programs which impact directly to wananchi, such as water, education, health, roads, agriculture, and energy. 10, that the county should keep on increasing the budgetary provisions for the development budget estimates, as this will lead to more and better services to the people. 11, the committee recommends that the projected ceilings should greatly guide the preparations for the financial year 2024-2025 budget estimates. 12, that the county treasury adheres to the financial year 2024-2025 budget calendar. Acknowledgement. Honorable Speaker, the committee wishes to thank the office of the Speaker and that of the clerk for the support extended to the committee by facilitating it to fulfill its mandate. I wish to acknowledge the honorable members of the committee for their time, as well as ideas in the meetings and in preparations for this report. Our sincere gratitude is extended to the county treasury for being part of this critical process of preparing and reviewing the 2024 CFSP. It is therefore my pleasant undertaking, on behalf of the Budget and Appropriation Committee, to table this report and recommend it for the House for adoption. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Justice Motuko. That is well done. You fitted very well in the shoes of Honorable Ndambuki, who is the chair. Now, members, it is the time for this House to debate this motion. Members, it is your turn. Honorable Ndeti, you can start us off.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I first wish to congratulate the committee of the Budget Committee for coming up with a very well analyzed report, which has given us the highlights of our account ceilings. What I have paid attention to was the pending bills. I heard Mheshimiwa Kasanga read that most departments are saying that they will not be responsible over pending bills. They are throwing this animal to the Department of Finance. I think as a house, we need to understand why this is so, because procurement of services and commodities is done by respective departments. We give budgets to respective departments. I am not seeing why these responsibilities should be, put on the finance department. Secondly, I also wish to say that the low absorption rate is not very good for us as a county, because of late I've seen some advertisements for jobs, and there's great fear that these might end up turning into pending bills if the projects they're advertising for execution in the third quarter are not completed within the normal time frame. This financial year is ending 30th of May, and if these projects that are already being advertised for are not completed, now you know the pending bill will escalate again. So that needs to be looked into. The other thing that I have concern over is the wench bill. 47% against the recommended rate of 35%. Every other time we hear that there are departments that are understaffed, yet our wage bill is above what is recommended. I don't know whether the county, the executive should sit down and find out the caliber, whether we have got staff who are qualified in their areas, or we just have employed people, and that's why some departments are lacking technical people. So there is need for this department or the department in charge of, I think that must be labor, to really find out why we are still having a shortage of staff in some departments, yet the wage bill is 47%. Recurrent expenditure across board is too high. It needs to be really looked into. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. More contribution, members. The floor is yours. More contributions from members. Seems we are okay with everything. Okay, so can I call now, therefore, call the mover of the motion to reply.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to thank the honorable members for this House for adopting this budget proposals. It is a document that will lead the executive to work for our great people of Machakos County. So, honorable members, I'm grateful. And Madam Speaker, being my first time to stand before the floor of the House, honorable members, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. In the beginning, I was shaking, but as the vehicle started, Madam Speaker, I was strong, and I thank you so much. Thank you.
I noticed that, and I was very happy. Have you taken your water?
I did.
Okay, thank you very much. I now put the question that this House adopts the report of the Budget and Appropriation Committee on the County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2024 for the financial year 2024-2025, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 12th March 2024, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 117 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and the Machakos County Assembly Standing Order 205. As many are of the opinion say ayes. As many are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. The House adjourns to Wednesday, 13th March 2024 at 2:30 p.m. See you then, members.